Hey guys, Mr. B here. In this video, we're going to be going over the chapter 10.4 notes on the geologic time scale. So we're going to be learning about what the geologic time scale is, how it's used to show Earth's history, and what some of the different units of the geologic time scale are. All right, so what is the geologic time scale and why is it used to show Earth's history? So obviously, our Earth has been along for a very, very long time. We estimate that it is about 4.5 billion years old. So months, years, even centuries are not very helpful when we're talking about Earth's history because that's just a blip in time for the Earth. Okay, so because the time span of Earth is so large, we use the geologic time scale to show Earth's history, and it's basically a record of all the life forms and all the major geologic events that have happened in Earth's history, organized in a table and cut up into different chunks or sections. So this is an image here of the geologic time scale, and this was first developed by studying rock layers and index fossils. Okay, so it's broken up into eras, which are these longer sections of time here, and then periods, which are shorter, and then even below periods, there's like epochs and other stuff. But we're primarily going to be talking about eras and periods. Eons are even longer than eras, but either way, we geologists have looked at rock layers to see what major events have occurred, as well as fossils to see what life forms have occurred. And they use relative age and radioactive dating to determine the absolute age of all of these different time sections. So each one of these has a kind of strange name. For example, like the Cambrian or Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian. Each of these names typically comes from the different plants and animals that used to exist during that time. As well as these eras also mean things. So Paleozoic means ancient or early life. This began about 544 million years ago, lasted for about 300 million years. The Mesozoic means middle life. So this was where dinosaurs and stuff existed. This was about 245 million years ago and lasted about 180 million years. And the Cenozoic Era, which is what we are currently in right now today, means current life or recent life. And started about 66 million years ago. And again, this is the current era that we are in today. Okay. Now you'll notice that there's this little chunk of time down here at the bottom called the Precambrian. This was from 4.6 billion to 544 million years. Okay, so even though this geologic time scale here looks like this little chunk here on the bottom is tiny, this little bottom chunk here is actually about 88% of this whole time scale. Okay, it's just that not a whole lot happened during this time. So we oftentimes will just sort of put it at the bottom and we kind of make it smaller, and then we extend all these other time periods and eras out, because this is where most of the life and plants and stuff that you know of all happened in this upper section. So, excuse me. All right, we're not going to go over any questions. I have a video of me going over those, so if you want to watch that, you can. We're going to keep on talking about some info. So what are the different units of the geologic time scale? All right, so as they have studied the fossil record, geologists have found that major changes in life forms usually happen at certain times. Okay, and so these changes are usually what mark where one geologic time ends and the next one begins. Most of the eras and periods and stuff on the geologic time scale ended in some kind of extinction or some kind of major event that drastically changed the life forms or the organisms that were on the planet. Okay, so we're not going to talk a whole lot about some of those events, but understand that each time period or era, there was a major shift on Earth that then ended that era and began the next one. Now, the geologic time scale begins with this time called Precambrian time, as I just mentioned before. It's about 88% of Earth's history. Again, it looks like a small section, so we'll go back here. It looks like a very small section on the bottom, but it actually is most of this. It's just that not a whole lot happened, so we don't really go into depth on it. After Precambrian time, the basic units of the geologic time scale then are eras and periods. The eras are divided into three different eras: the Paleozoic era, the Mesozoic era, and the Cenozoic. Again, the Paleozoic era means ancient life. So this was before the dinosaurs. This is like some of the major first life forms that really popped up on Earth. Then we have the Mesozoic. That was where all the dinosaurs and stuff existed. Mammals and things like that, called middle life. And then Cenozoic is recent life. And this is what we are currently in right now. So the eras themselves are divided into sub-units called periods. So the Mesozoic era, for example, has 3 periods: the Triassic, the Jurassic, excuse me again, and the Cretaceous. And of course, most of you probably know these 3 because that's where all of the dinosaurs existed. Of course, you know, there's Jurassic Park and that famous movie and stuff like that. But again, the names of many of these periods come from places around the world where geologists have first found the rocks and fossils of that period, as well as they're named after the plants and animals that existed during that time. So, all right, that's primarily it for this section. Again, a pretty short one. So main things to take note of from this is the geologic time scale and the sections of time it's broken into, how long some of those things lasted, and what some of the names and things like that mean. Okay, so again, we'll be going over the questions like this in the next video. So if you want to watch that, and if I have any help for that one, you can watch that. All right, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye.